We're going to talk today about College of the Canyons and 2+2 and this whole movement that is happening globally about starting at a community college for your underdivision work and then transferring to another school for 2 more years to complete a bachelor's degree. There's millions of students doing it in the United States, and more international students are finding out about it and realizing the benefits, the economic benefit of it, but also academically. It's a really good way to go if you want to do well as part of your bachelor's degree. This is a picture of the College of the Canyons campus you're looking at. The Santa Clarita Valley is a beautiful, clean valley, master planned community, and a lot of friendly people. And it's located in a beautiful Southern California with beautiful Southern California weather. And we're going to see a lot more pictures of the campus and of the area and of some of the students that go there as we go through this presentation. So again, College of the Canyons, that's the key name to remember. You're going to hear from a lot of community colleges today. Community colleges are an excellent way to go. College of the Canyons is my favorite, and that's why I work there. You're going to find at College of the Canyons that you're going to find it's a safe city, which a lot of people care a lot about because there is a lot of cities around the world which you really have to be very mature and very careful in order to safely navigate. Excuse me. Also, College of the Canyons and Santa Clarita Valley is a very beautiful place. So there's different kinds of locations. Some are very urban, right down in with the tall buildings and kind of the crazy hubbub of cities. And then there's areas like College of the Canyons, which are suburban and green and beautiful. So it's a beautiful place to be. At College of the Canyons, you are going to get a lot of support. We have a lot of staff. We're always available. You're basically going to have guidance available 24/7 all the time when you're here. And you're going to find that there are some online classes that you can take so you can adjust your schedule. All the other classes in the fall, you're going to find most of them are live classes in the classroom. We are open. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the transfer because 2+2 is hard to understand for some people. And so it's good to kind of remind them how that transfer works. So this is a chart that kind of tries to explain what is going on with this 2+2. If you look here, you can see secondary schools. And secondary schools are made up of your junior high and your senior high. And everybody here is in senior high or has completed senior high. So that's basically what they call secondary education. It's finishing high school. When you finish high school, the next step is a bachelor's degree. And that's very common in most places around the world. In the United States, you can go straight to a bachelor's degree school for 4 years, and that's fine. Or you can go to a community college like College of Canyons for 2 years and then transfer to the bachelor's degrees and then finish there. And that's why they call it 2+2, because you'll spend 2 years at College of the Canyons, and then you'll spend 2 years at the other school, and then you get your bachelor's degree. So it's a total of 4 years, just like a bachelor's degree. And then some people can do it a little faster, some people a little longer, but it's a system which is well understood in the US, and it's an important part of providing access to a bachelor's degree for students in the US. International students can now take advantage of that as well. And that 2+2 is a common theme around the US, and College of the Canyons is one of the best schools at 2+2. And the way that you rate best really boils down to how well do the students do and how well do they transfer? Are they successful at that transfer? And a transfer from an administrative standpoint is very easy. It's a simple process. Paperwork, we help you with all of that. But really is how often do students really get to the school that they want to go to? We have a 100% transfer success rate. Every student who wants to transfer successfully transfers. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But first, we're going to talk about a little bit why community college is good? Because I know you're used to taking SATs and your GPA and writing essays and everything, but the way that College of the Canyon works is all you have to do is apply and you're in. Because the hard work is going to start after you get to College of the Canyons. And you're going to prove yourself to every university in the United States while you're at College of the Canyons. And they love this because you're now at a U.S. academic institution. And being at a U.S. academic institution gives them the certainty that they really know what kind of student you are. Because when you're coming from India or Russia or Japan or Costa Rica or Brazil, or they don't really know about your high school that well. There's thousands and thousands of high schools. But coming from College of the Canyons, they know exactly what kind of student you are when you finish at College of the Canyons. And that's why you're going to be so successful at transferring. So at College of the Canyons, you're not going to, no test is required. You get very low cost. We're going to talk about that some more. You get the diploma from the school you transfer to. There's no diploma from College of the Canyons. You get to work, and working in the US is a big part of your education. And of course, you have the guaranteed transfer, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Let's start a little bit about money, because it does cost a lot of money to go to school. And there is a TikTok video we made out there that you can see where you can go check it out and you can see what is a real cost, like how much does it really cost? Because it's all confusion out there with scholarships and housing costs and books. So what does it really cost? So we're going to talk about College of the Canyons costs, and you're going to find this is very common in community colleges. Before I show you how much it costs, though, I want you to know that it's a very low number. A lot of people think, oh, that's a low number. I don't know how good that could possibly be. If it's really low, is it a good school? Well, it works like this. First of all, College of the Canyons is highly subsidized by the state of California. So there's a lot of government support. Second of all, we don't do research. Now that's important. If you think of schools like Berkeley and UCLA, they have huge research budgets. They do a lot of research. It's a very important part of the academic experience, also that research, as a junior and as a senior and as a master's degree student or a doctoral student. But our school, we only teach classes. So we don't have that expensive research. So here's the number. Here's what it really boils down to. Tuition at College of the Canyons is just $5,000 per semester, okay? And you just pay by the semester as you go. If you take more classes, then it's about $5,000. If you take less classes, it's a little bit less than $5,000. But that's what it really boils to. So that's a very, very low price. So first of all, a lot of students ask, hey, do you have any scholarships? Well, you don't need a scholarship because College of Canyons scholarship's already built in. Where you need your scholarship is your senior year at UCLA. That's where the tuition is very high. We'll talk a little bit more about that. So the next slide shows you sort of like, here's a typical pathway that a lot of students take. 2 semesters at College of the Canyons, that's $10,000 because it's $5,000 each, right? And then another 2 semesters, that's your second year. So that's another $10,000. Then you transfer to a California State University. California State University tuition starts at about $20,000. Sometimes you can go to a UC and you'll be about $45,000. And of course, if you go to a private school like USC or Stanford, it's $70,000. But I'm just talking about what most students like to do. They like to go to that California State University because California State universities are very good at master's degrees. Now, if you want a doctoral degree, you can then transfer to a doctoral degree program, or if you're positive you want a doctoral degree, you can transfer to UCLA or Berkeley or any of the other UCs. There's 9 to choose from. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. And you can get a doctoral degree. So either way, no matter what your plan is for academia, you start at College of the Canyons, and we keep that tuition absolutely as low as possible. So let's review that a little bit more about who can go to College of the Canyons. High school students. So if you're in high school in your home country, you can go to College of Canyons while you are in high school, which means you take a class and that class applies to your college future. So it's really easy to do too. It's all online classes, so you take it from your home country. Or if you're a high school graduate, you can come to College of the Canyons and take your classes live in the fall. And that's what the 2+2 is. And remember, that other than English and needing to demonstrate English capability, there's no other tests needed to go to College of the Canyons. We are going to test you in your classroom. The classes are the same classes as you would take at Berkeley or UCLA. Sometimes it's the same teacher. We are located just right up the road from UCLA, so the teachers teach at both schools. So you're going to see that it's a very common practice to see the same classes and the same teachers. It's the same experience. So, but we don't require any of those qualifying tests because we know you're going to succeed. So where can you go when you go to College of Canyons? Where can you go to school next? Where can you transfer? Well, this picture shows you all the choices. So first of all, I've mentioned the California State University, and you can see College of the Canyons down here with this little cute picture of the state of California and kind of all the beauty that's in the state of California. You can see College of Canyons down here in Southern California. Well, from Southern California, College of Canyons, you can go to any of the 23 California state universities. So there's going to be a home for you. And this is guaranteed, by the way. You are guaranteed a spot in the California State University system. Then there's the University of California system. Those are the famous schools you're used to hearing about, like I've mentioned, UCLA and Berkeley. There's also San Diego, Santa Barbara, Irvine, Riverside. So there's lots of choices, and they're beautiful campuses. They're great places to go to school. And then, of course, throughout the rest of the United States, there's over 2,000 schools. A lot of our students go to those other schools. Students tend to stay in California because it's big and it's beautiful and there's guaranteed transfer, and UCLA and Berkeley are here, so why leave? But you're welcome to go anywhere in the United States. We have students that transfer to Washington, Michigan, New York, Texas, all over the place. So there's lots of choices. So you have these choices of all these schools when you start at College of the Canyons. All right, so let's show some demonstrations. Some examples of some students. All right. So here's Darian. Now, Darian is not this brilliant genius student. He did the heavy lifting required to do good. He got good grades. In other words, he treated being a student as if it was his full-time job. And he worked hard, he got good grades, and he was offered transfer opportunities to all the top schools in California, and he chose UCLA. Jarrett, another pretty much a regular student. I mean, it's not like he's a genius or anything, but he did his homework. He focused on developing leadership skills, and he did really well, and he chose UC Berkeley. Mose Park is a great example. He barely spoke English when he showed up on my doorstep a couple of years ago. He worked hard. He learned English. We do have an English language program if you need it. But he worked hard in his classes, he paid attention, and he got into UC Berkeley. And this is not unusual. This is very, very common. Dana Levine. Now, Dana's a little bit different. She's a brilliant student. She started in high school, and she graduated from Berkeley at age 19. And we're going to show you some diplomas. This is the first diploma here. We're going to show you some diplomas because a key thing to remember is even though you start at College of the Canyons, your degree is issued by the school you graduate from, not from College of the Canyons. And if you look very closely at this picture right here, you will see that this is a diploma from Berkeley. And this is a diploma from John. John went to Berkeley from College of the Canyons. Nowhere on this diploma does it say College of the Canyons, because the system is integrated in California and seamless. And Berkeley loves accepting students from College of the Canyons. So we guarantee you access to the university system in California from College of the Canyons, and you're going to do great. All right. So what does College of the Canyons look like? Let's look at some pictures of the community, that kind of stuff. Because when you make your decision of which community college to start at, you're going to want to think about where's it located. It doesn't need to be located near the school you're going to transfer to. Berkeley doesn't care where you come from. All they care about is you came from College of the Canyons. So location is very important. College of Canyons is in a gorgeous location. It's the beautiful Santa Cruz Valley. It's in Southern California. You can see here on the map, there's a map of the United States. It's a very common, everybody recognizes US map. And this is right down here in Southern California. We have fantastic weather, really, really nice people. They care a lot about how students are doing. Our entire valley, Santa Cruz, is really designed as a school town. So people understand when they see students in the grocery store or on the bus that, like, they're students and they're trying to find their way in the world, and everybody's really friendly. There's a lot of hiking, a lot of biking. It's just this clean place, with clean air, and it's a beautiful spot to be. Gorgeous Southern California. So here's some pictures of our campus. We have a university center, and here's a picture of inside of our PAC, which is the Performing Arts Center. We are located near Hollywood, so it's very common that students want to be involved somehow in the Hollywood industry. But of course, we specialize in business and engineering, so you're going to do really well there. The picture down here of all these graduating students, these are all students which are graduating to the 2+2 program. So you're going to see that the College of the Canyons is a great place to start your academic life. Here's some more pictures of the area. Of course, we have a Six Flags Magic Mountain right across from the college, and we have beautiful shopping and beautiful hiking. It's a great place. Isabella sent us a bunch of pictures. She's just been kind of exploring Southern California. She's an international student, also at College of the Canyons, and so she's a perfect example. So she went around this spring, and then she sent me a bunch of pictures. So I made a slide just of her enjoying that Southern California lifestyle. And she's here at school too, so you'll meet her in the fall when you come here. Community colleges, College of the Canyons in particular, has great sports programs. So if you're into sports, we have it all. And although all community colleges are the same, there's no sports scholarships. But remember, you don't really need a scholarship at College of the Canyons. The tuition's very, very low. You need that scholarship your senior year at Berkeley, where it's $45,000 for tuition. That's where you want your scholarship. We're going to get you ready for that. And if you're into sports, you might get that scholarship for your transfer. That's what it's really about. So, lots of sports. Let's talk about something that might be on everybody's mind, which is, well, where do you live when you go to College of the Canyons? Because there are no dormitories at community colleges. Almost all community colleges don't have dorms. Some do, but most don't. So when you come to College of the Canyons, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to stay with a college family. We match you up with that college family. So let's say you want to be in a house with a swimming pool and a big dog, or maybe you want a barbecue, or maybe you want to have a piano or something. We match you up with that family. If you have any dietary restrictions, like you don't eat pork, we match you up with a family. And that family guides you through that first semester. You can also get an apartment with some roommates. You're going to make a lot of friends. And some of those friends are going to be people that live in apartments near the campus. So you can get an apartment with roommates. That's another really good way to go. Now, when you transfer to that other school, you're probably going to transfer to the dorms. So your junior and senior year, you'll live in the dorms at that other school. But the first 2 years, you're going to live with a college family and maybe with an apartment, your choice. So the dormitories will be later, and when you transfer those dorms, you transfer to the upper division dorms. It's a great place to go to school, and you're right there on campus. So let's talk about a little bit about a little bit of a review about College of the Canyons. You're going to save a bunch of money, right? Because tuition's a lot lower. You got some really small class sizes, so you're going to do great. You actually get to talk to the professor at every class. You go to UCLA, there's going to be 300 people in the class with you. You're not going to talk to the professor. You're going to talk to a college assistant who's getting their master's degree. And that could be good too. You need to be a really strong student, a really self-motivated, excellent, independent learner to do well at a UC with those big class sizes. But at College of the Canyons, you're going to get that direct attention from the professor. You can ask as many questions as you want. They have office hours you can go to. You're going to get a lot of support. Another thing you want to think about when you think about which community college to go to is you're going to want to think about how is the international office structured. Is there lots of people working there? Do they have lots of people who will answer your questions? Do they know what they're doing? And that's what College of Canyon specializes in. We have a very large office, a big department, and we're available to you when you're going to school at College of the Canyons 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no matter what you need. We're reachable. All right. So it's a great place to go to school at College of Canyons because you get that extra support. We've got free tutoring in every subject. And we have professors that can't wait to talk to you and get to know where you're from, what is your hometown from, who did you leave behind when you left? Do you have brothers and sisters? What do your parents do for a living? Everything's of interest when you're an international student to all your professors. So this is a little bit of review, a different way of looking sort of visually at what 2 plus 2 is. So remember, the first 2 years are your freshman and sophomore years. You're going to do your general education and your transfer requirements. All that stuff is really the same no matter what school you go to. So now it boils down to that other rule of location. Is it in a beautiful place, nice, beautiful campus, that kind of stuff. All right. Then you can transfer and you do your junior and senior years at that other school. And that's when you probably transfer to the dorms. Maybe you get a scholarship on your senior year. Maybe you continue to do a master's degree or maybe a doctoral degree. That's kind of good, right? And then, of course, we have another thing, which is you can work. Working is an important part of going to school in the United States. You can work uh, after you finish College of the Canyons, before you even transfer, or you can wait and you can work after, or you can do both. So there's a lot of work opportunities. If you want to work at a company, for a year before you transfer, we'll help you with that. So getting that real world experience with a company both makes it so that you have that experience and you can demonstrate it for future employers, but it also helps give you an idea of how it all works, and you get a great connection for somebody who runs a company who's really going to care about you in the future. So how do you apply to College of Canyons? Really, really easy. This is the whole application. Basically, you just fill out a form. I want you to write a 1-page essay just so I get to know you. Now, I promise you, you're going to be accepted to College of the Canyons. All you got to do is have good enough English to learn. And we'll talk about English scores in a minute. But College of the Canyons is going to accept you. And our job is to transfer you to the best possible school you can get into. So your first 2 years with us, then we're going to transfer you to UCLA, Berkeley, or wherever it is you want to go. And that's where you're going to get your degree. And that's our specialty. That's what we do for a living. That's our goal. That's the whole purpose of why we exist. So what do you need to do to get in besides fill out this piece of paper? Well, that's pretty easy. You need to have good English. So what does good English mean? This is good English. So everybody knows what Duolingo is now. So if you have 90 on the Duolingo, then you start right in taking college credit courses. If you're below 90, a little bit below 90, we'll talk about it. But even if your Duolingo is as low as 55, we still can bring you in for English language training. It's a 1-year program. We get you all geared up and ready to go into the college credit classes in less than 1 year. So it's a great program. It's really good. It's designed to make you successful. Our whole goal is to make sure you are successful at whatever you want to try for academics. And if you don't know what you want to major in, because you can major in anything in California, we'll even help you choose a major. And if you already know what you want to major in, we have that major. I guarantee it. We have every major. So all you got to do is take that Duolingo and send that score to us. It's easy. You can do it from home. It's super easy to get that score to us. So here's a picture of some people in our office. You can see me right here, and then you can see Dr. J, who's here today also to ask any questions you might have. And then we got a fleet. This is just half of our team. It's not even everybody. We got so many people here, and they're all here to make you successful. That's our goal. And I think you're going to do really well at College of the Canyons. You're going to love it. Our transfer rate is great. Our price is great. So your parents don't have to pay that much money. It's a fantastic opportunity. So thank you, everybody. Here's how you can reach me. I'm easy to find. Take a screenshot of this or something like that, because then you can always find me on my email or at our phone.